Our government's doing enough to control the price of energy and the cost of actually keeping yourself warm this winter. Right now, there's a huge amount of aid, but is it just a sticking plaster? In other words, will it be just temporary and the consumer actually suffer in the longer term? Right now, Europe is promising 375 billion in aid. Different governments, of course, are doing different things. The UK's got the highest prices for electricity in the whole of Europe. It's massive compared to, for example, Paris and indeed Poland, Warsaw. You're seeing a cost there that is nearly treble the cost of what you would pay if you were in Paris. The price of energy in the UK has gone up by 178%. It's the highest, although Germany's had the biggest increase, 185%. What are governments doing? Well, the UK is said to be preparing plans for aid of 130 billion. Okay, in other words, it's going to try and make sure the lower paid have enough money to be able to pay the cost of energy. What can the consumer do? Well, of course, they can try and take on and try and use less energy. What else can governments do? Well, they can't control the price that the wholesale rate is, but they can, of course, aid people. But that aid is really only just giving that temporary relief to get people through the winter. Of course, that helps, but really the problem is there's a shortage of energy. In other words, unless they actually do something to make sure there's more energy being produced, then of course the cost will continue to rise. We're seeing across Europe different prices, different countries doing different things. France, for example, has been applauded by freezing the costs of energy. And again, as I mentioned, it makes it the cheapest big city in Europe. The UK right now hasn't done anything. Liz Truss takes over. She's promised that she's going to be taking action as early as she can to really make sure that things are done. In Germany, they're saying that they're going to tax the oil companies, tax the gas companies, the ones that are making the huge profit, and then redistribute that money. Sounds, of course, good in principle. Well, will they actually follow through, and is it enough? There's certainly an energy crisis, but don't forget the core issue is not enough energy. So really, there needs to be not only this temporary aid, which of course helps, but investment, an investment perhaps into the nuclear energy sector. The name, of course, people think nuclear, that's dangerous. Okay, well, actually, it's a good way of producing energy, and it can be done faster than other ways. And in reality, as long as the waste is disposed upon properly and correctly, it's actually a more efficient green solution than other solutions that have been offered. So whilst we applaud governments if they can help people on a temporary basis, we know the only real answer is to permanently do something to create energy. Okay, if you're investing money, there's ways that you can invest, and particularly if you look at energy, you'll see that there's investments, opportunities where you can use any money that you have to invest and perhaps offset some of the extra amounts of money that you have to pay in order to get the energy that you need for yourself and perhaps indeed for your business. Okay, it's crazy times. Hit subscribe. I'll keep you up to date. Talk about what energy companies that you can invest in. Okay, and of course, also talk about how people can be successful in life and actually make sure they attack the issues of today and also where the opportunities are. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. Okay, there's a massive issue here and it needs to be attacked by governments.